Hi, Abby here! If you're not familiar with me, I'm a professional psychic and spiritual healer, and today we're going to be exploring a 60-minute soul rebirth journey session for a client. And this client is awesome and open-minded enough to share their psychic experience on YouTube. This is a pre-recorded video session. I'm about to get started on it. I'm going to go ahead and read the client goals, and then I'm going to be connecting with the client, and we'll see where Spirit takes us. Okay, so now there's a lot of different things that you're wanting to explore, and I'm going to kind of dip into some of the details here. So the first thing you said, which I thought was really interesting, so you've done some meditating, and in these meditations, you've seen a version of yourself locked away and sometimes tortured in darkness and disgusting gunk. Now that I really want to target that. I want to go in there and see what that's all about. Okay, and you're trying to understand what this might mean, reasons why it might look this way, and some things you've noticed about yourself is that you're avoidant of life, you say. I have huge walls and have hid away from anyone who I think I could have a deep connection with, but I put on a show to hide just how terrified I am of people and how ashamed I am of myself. That's really raw. That's really real. I admire that. You wonder if it could be a past life thing, these types of behaviors of pushing people away. You felt like you've done something wrong since I was very young, and I've been overwhelmed and intimidated, confused, unsure of people since preschool. I've never felt like I belonged here, and I've always felt that I am an outcast. You want me to work on your throat, connect with your spirit guides, angels, and so mainly goals are to heal and discover more of myself so I can expand. Okay, there's so much awesomeness in here. We're going to tap into as much of this as possible, okay? And give me just a moment here. I want to make sure there's no random interruptions or anything. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, let's see where this takes us. I want to go into that gunky place. I want to know more about that. Okay, so it's not necessarily... There's a really jarring, and I mean jarring, energy here on my heart. And some of my stomach is intertwined with that. Some of my throat is. So that means that whatever this is about in you, it's connected to your throat, your heart, and your stomach. But wow, is it jarring on the heart. I'm trying to move forward, but something inside my heart is wanting to pull me back. So it's like, I'm going to go forward, and I'm just like running in place. So, but it's not like, there's a sensitivity in it. It's not like I'm ambitious to move forward. There is a longing to kind of move forward, but there's a really intense feeling that to pull back. So, and I don't get to see literally anything. It's all a feelings experience right now. There's nothing to see. I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing here to just relax the energy vibes, because they're really not able to tell me what's going on, and that might be what's jarring in the throat, okay? It just can't talk to me about what any of this means. So I'm just going to slow it all down, okay? And when I slow it down, I go ahead and I just gently touch your heart, and I gently touch your throat. I gently touch your stomach. I give you a super massive hug, and I tell you everything is going to be okay. I know what it's like to not know really how to say the things that I feel inside. Sometimes we just simply don't know the words. And sometimes to talk about it makes us feel shame or embarrassment, so we just simply don't even want to go there. As I'm saying all this stuff, there is some pretty dark thing that's expressing itself. Dark stuff is really just the wound, okay? So nothing creepy, it just looks creepy, okay? All right, so she has a pale, pure white face, and her mouth is open, and tongue's kind of along the side. Her eyes look like somebody like splattered paint. Here's one eye, splattered paint, eye, splattered black paint. So it's all splattered, or they've been blown out. Her eye's been blown out and it's just all black, and her hair's all black. And she looks like she's kind of hung on a noose. There's completely no sound. This is a pretty big deal, I will say that. I'm doing what I can here to actually hold her in my arms, but she can't let go of the noose, and the noose then will not let go of her. And it's tight around the throat, obviously. But in some odd way, she prefers the noose. She prefers it this way. I'm not sure why, but there's a safety in it, believe it or not. Even though it is actually distorting the person that she truly is. And I'm showing her a reflection of herself right now, and I'm saying, yeah, that's not who you are. That's not who you are. I don't know this person. This person is somebody I feel is asking me to help them, not telling me not to help them. Is that the whole heart thing here? I want the help, I don't want the help, I want the help, I don't, you know, it's like a teeter-totter, you know? This wants the help, but it also is secure with the noose around the throat. What does this mean? How did this happen? It's just frequency right now, and this is what it happens to look like. Okay, there's a lot of sadness here. It's really awful too because there's no eyes, you know, it's been blown out. So how does an eyeless person have tears? You see, there's something very sad to this. So, okay, so super jammed. I mean, this throat thing is so jammed, and it's all connected here. Throat, heart, stomach. We are making progress, but I gotta slow this down, okay? I'm slowing down the essence of existence right now for this frequency, and I'm literally, in my own way, just gently touching the side of her face, and I'm sort of holding her like a broken doll, like a child holding a broken doll that does not see it as broken, but sees it as a beautiful spirit, a best friend, a comfort friend at night. Maybe the rest of the world sees it as broken, but I do not. I love this doll. So I'm doing that right now for this part of you on the noose, okay? And I share messages about its encouragement to speak some kind, to try to say something even if it's gibberish. Maybe it's just gonna sound like, you know, tripping upstairs. Like say something, you know, like just say something. It'll actually help just to say something. And then when you say something, it'll start opening it up, and actually it's gonna help get the stomach connected with the heart, connected with the throat, and it just all starts to come out, okay? And it'll be really, really good for you. And I'm just telling her that. Okay, so she doesn't want to speak in language. She wants to speak in actions and images. So she shows me herself really put together. Huge house. A little beautiful light coming in these windows, what would be like a second floor, but it's so big. There's stairs that go up to even a third floor, stairs that go down to a first floor. There's just a huge open space here. And beautiful windows. There's what appears to be like a red carpet. It looks really nice. There's really dark brown wood. It's fancy in here. I mean, there's artwork. There's fancy, expensive stuff. It's not modern day. She is wearing black tights, and then what is this, sort of like a dark grayish blue? It's kind of just a simple kind of cotton-like dress. It goes to the knees, and there's a bit of white around it. And she has jet black hair. She has bangs. She's got some sort of band in her hair that holds the rest of this back. She's super cute. But she also kind of emanates like horror film, like she's got a knife in her hand, but she isn't attacking me. She's just staring at me. I'm gonna just... There's more than I just see here, okay? There's a huge energy barrier. I'm just gonna walk through it. And what we see is what we see. I'm just going to walk through this energy thing that I'm feeling out right now. I'm actually targeting something deeper beneath the surface of this image. And so I mean, for me, I could hang out with this image all day. We can talk about it, but it's really avoiding what is deeper down inside. And so I want to get to the bottom of this. I don't want to just like linger. How's your day? Oh, cute girl in big house. There's the knife. Like, I want to get to the bottom of this. So I'm just going right into the frequency that's popping up here. All right, I'm just going. I'm like a mole. I'm like digging in the energy, and I'm just going down. I'm just going down beneath this house, beneath her, beneath everything. Like down beneath the basement. I'm going down. Whatever this structure is you got going on here, it's massive. So what this is about, and this could very well be about the walls that you put up, or you open yourself up just enough to let people in, but you really feel uncomfortable letting people in too close. And this right here is a very big structure that you created, and obviously the structure is revealing that it's got suffocated parts, otherwise this creepy stuff wouldn't be here. And the creepy stuff is sort of protecting the structure, because that's its birth, that's its life force energy, that's its identity. So creepy stuff, it must exist, right? Well, we don't want it to exist in this way anymore. We want it to be reborn, and we want the movement, we want this structure to be transformed, so that way you can actually feel present and not resist that gift of being here, you know? I am human. I exist here on this earth right now. I'm going to be present, and whoever comes into my life, I'm not going to be concerned about what this relationship could mean, how deep it could go. I'm just going to see what happens, you know? I'll just see what happens. If it's for me, then great. If it's not for me, I'll just move on, you know? There's so much more to experience, instead of just like, okay, cool, people coming to my life, but I'm just going to keep everything at a safe distance. It's just too much work, you know? It's way too much work. But this huge energy structure would be encouraging the behavior, okay? So this energy structure is enormous. Was it built in this lifetime? Was it built in other lifetimes, and you're still working on breaking it down? I think all of those would be correct. But let me see. I'm just pulling stuff towards me. I'm like really deep down, okay? And I'm just pulling things towards me, and I'm literally, you know, I'm pulling it all towards me, because I just, like, I'm ready to break this down, and I need, you know, if you're gonna talk to me, I need you to talk to me, because I'm gonna break this down. So I'm just pulling all this structure in, okay? So I'm just going to leave this part of myself literally breaking this thing down, but it's just kind of loosening it up, because in the end you have to choose. You already are choosing, you want this to be broken down, but there's a lot of other parts that have to self-realize and agree, okay? They also have to say, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, consciousness, so I can change deep down inside, and I can go with the flow of something new. So these other parts have to choose that as well, okay, the deeper parts. So this part of me is still doing that stuff, and then I'm just gonna start a new pathway. I'm just gonna leave that part of me still breaking this down as best as I can, and I'm gonna bring part of your consciousness in here with me, and I'm gonna talk to you about everything I've seen so far. And we're literally standing in a dark place. I'm telling you, you know, the girl with the knife, this is what I'm up to right now. I'm breaking down this huge structure. It's massive. I feel this is sort of like pulling the heart, you know, back and forth. We can't really move forward. The throat's jammed, the gut's jammed. Talking to you about everything so far. Yeah, so this part of your consciousness is going dark too. So she wants to cut me into pieces like I'm a piece of, you know, I'm like a pizza that just came out of the oven. Like she just wants to cut me into pieces. I'm cool with that. She's just venting right now. I say, sure, if you need to cut me into pieces, you can. That helps you feel better. Man. I will tell you this is going to take a lot of effort, because even her, this is yet another part of you. You see how big this is? I could run into a lot of layers of this kind where, you know, I'm trying to make progress, but they're trying to hold back on progress. It's like the heart thing. And I just have to be repetitious here. So if we're kind of walking into the same thing over and over again, that's because there's a lot of repetition here that's still not convinced yet. It needs to be broken down. So she's cutting me into pieces all the while she's saying, what have I done? She turns black and just kind of goes to the ground into a pile of ash. And it's so, who wants to reconcile this? Who wants to reconcile this? I'm literally, where are you? Who wants to reconcile this? I'm waiting for parts of you to come to me to talk to me about what's going on here. There's little white sort of orbs. There's lots of them that are starting to show up, and they're kind of rolling towards me from the darkness. They're kind of pinkish in color. There's lots and lots. They're like beads, and there's circles, like they're spheres, so they're just rolling towards me. I can hear like a ball rolling on a wooden floor, but there's lots of them. I'm hearing lots of them rolling towards me, and it feels like one emanation. So they're just sort of collecting like droplets of water, you know, into one big puddle. But these are collecting and forming into a person, and the color is sort of pink and white, and it glows. This is a female emanation. It's not very easy to see what she looks like. She seems to have a really massive hat, like a really pretty, fancy, massive hat. So big, and she's shorter than me. I can't see her face. But she's all this pink color, and she's sort of made up of just the shape of her. She's so short. I mean, she's like 4 foot tall. And I'm so much taller than her. I like have to pick her up to see if I can see into her face. I just hold her hand and I say, I'll let you take me wherever you want to go. I feel like I need to meet your spirit guides or your higher self or your angels. I feel like I need to meet some people. We're going up some stairs. It's a very narrow pathway to go up these stairs. Very narrow. And it's very steep as well. One step at a time. So as sort of pink and harmonious as she is, there's also a dark side of her. Which doesn't mean she's evil. It just means there's something else I need to look within her to see it. I feel like I'm walking to a funeral. I feel like somebody died. And it's taking a very, very, very long time to walk up what is like thousands of stairs just to get to this open door, just to go to say my goodbyes to somebody who's passed away. And I just get the echo of so many family members crying. Everybody's dressed in black. People cannot let go of this one. And I can't be there. I simply can't be there. I'll never make it in time. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of steps. Like, it's like one of those dreams where you're trying to move forward and you're running in place. Again, this whole heart thing is coming to the surface. But this time there's an event. I'm trying to participate in this event, and I'll never make it. I'll never make it. This is what keeps going through my mind. This is also a part of you that I am. I'll never make it. I'll never make it. And I appear and I say, shh. Do you want to be there? You need to talk to your heart here. Do you want to be there? Not necessarily. Not really, actually. I just kind of want to sit down on the stair right now. I feel like I've been on a journey to get to something I thought was important. And maybe the reason why all these stairs appeared was because I really wasn't accessing what was truly important in my heart. I'm actually totally okay with the funeral and this person passing away. I'm totally okay with it. I actually don't feel any grief. I don't even feel any responsibility now to even be there. And then I really don't even care about the stairs, and I don't even want to walk up these stairs anymore. I just want to sit here and think about my life. Think about other things. Try to make sense of something. So you're sitting down. It feels like so confusing. You're made out of white and blue. Then there's this person made out of pink and white next to you. And then I seem to be black. Just standing here like a consciousness, I guess. You want to know who you are. You want to know yourself. And you want to know why you're resisting connecting with all the other souls of the world. And it's as if a part of you has been delayed in opening up to these connections because there's something very significant you were trying to find within yourself. It's literally not the people out there, or it's not necessarily, it's something deep down inside of you. A deep down inside of you aspect of yourself was really wanting to find out something about yourself. And somehow this need to find something about yourself created an inspiration to not feel like bringing people too close. Because when you bring them too close, they can create a noise that prevents you from hearing what is the pathway to this deeper thing. And it can take a very long time to get to this deeper thing because there's something related to the way it makes you feel. This is literally what this is about. Does that make sense? Do I need to repeat that one? Because that's really an unusual answer, right? But you are trying to find something deep down inside yourself. And it's not about the people. It's actually about your soul and what your soul is looking for. And you haven't really been aware that this was even going on. You just thought you were a person living around people, and you just have a reaction to people that is a strange reaction, and you're pushing people away. And now it seems to be you're trying to create an understanding of why you are this way, when really you're using a human mind and you're not actually accessing your soul or your heart to actually say, well, why am I acting like this? So you have to go really deep in there. Don't use the old noodle, because that thing will show you a billion pathways. That thing will make you go round and round in circles, chasing your tail. You'll never really get a specific answer. You'll get a hunch, and then you can side with that hunch, and then that hunch explains so many things. But it has nothing to do with what's within your heart or soul. Because you're not just a human here. You're not an everyday human. You're deeper than this, okay? You're so much deeper than this. You are so much deeper than this. And perhaps, I mean, this is just a hunch I'm throwing out there because I haven't put my finger on this being specifically the truth. But perhaps because you're so much deeper, you sense the depths of others. And maybe other people just aren't emanating the same depth, and you just don't want to bring those types of people into you. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there as an idea. Let's just see what your spiritual atmosphere says. Okay, your spiritual atmosphere says There's more I want to show you. There's more I want to tell you. This is just like, this is point A kind of thing. Obviously, there's been a lot of points to get to point A, but this feels like point A. And there's going to be some more very major points along the way to help us understand more. So this is really good because this aspect of yourself still sitting here and actually feeling okay and saying, okay, so now I know that I'm trying to find something out about me that is really deep down inside of me, and I want to find this so deeply that I actually kind of don't really see the world around me with as crisp a detail, because so much of the direction of my energy is wanting to solve some sort of unknown puzzle. It's way beneath the conscious level, I'll say that. And this part of you says, don't worry about the girl with the knife and the house and the structures and stuff. Because this part of you says, I'm deeper than that. And they would never have known any of it anyway. They're just trying to create balance. I mean, that's all ego-related stuff. That's all ego structure, trying to create balance. Ego creates balance that is totally off balance. but we work with it, and we work with it Monday through Sunday, you know. And then until life changes do we realize we've created a structure that really wasn't for our benefit, you know. So this is beneath it. This actually emanates sort of like a male emanation that is saying this, and is kind of a frumpy guy. Like he has girth. He has belly. He has padding in the chest, you know. It's not like he's a muscle man. He's kind of like a dumpling because he's short and kind of round, you know. But there's something cute and charming because he is very accepting of himself. And he's sort of wearing this like blue and white, but he's starting to absorb some of the pink from this sort of female emanation. Feels like they're kind of merged in a weird way. I don't know enough yet, but he's starting to glow some pink and baby blue and white. So there's some kind of girly effect to him, and he's okay with it. He's like a man that's fine being a girly man, but he's a man, and he's okay that he's not a muscle man. He's not. He's okay with that. It has nothing to do with that. He just wants to know the depths of his soul. He just wants to know that. He doesn't really care what people think about the way he looks. He just wants to know that. It's cool. It's way cool to feel out his energy reflection. All right, I'm going to talk to him here about what I'm feeling. I say, okay, I'm going to throw this out there. What if there's nothing to find anymore? What if you actually went deep enough, you actually found everything you needed to find, and you just didn't give yourself a stopping point? And maybe you need to give yourself a stopping point so you can move on and then do new things. What do you think about that? Oh, weird. There's a bubble that kind of develops from his round belly, and then it goes up through his chest and into his head, and his head is like grown a big bubble on it, and it's like a greenish, dark greenish color. And he looks kind of bloated and disoriented. He's kind of like, ugh, and he looks like he's getting like more chubbier, but it's like he's getting blown up with air like a balloon man, and he's turning blue, actually, like he's suffocating though. Yeah, he needs to. Something needs to change here. So something in the purpose of all this needs to shift. So that is happening actually with him changing his reflection. I'm actually going to I'm going to let him blow up. And I mean, if he wants to explode, he can explode. This is his choice. So I'm just going to let him do this thing, and then we'll see what happens next. It's not going to hurt anybody or anything, but he's just doing this. So I don't feel like I need to do anything but just let him choose to do this. There's nothing I can do about it right now. I don't know. Something about this change in him is disappointing. to the point that he's sort of putting on an act like, woe is me, no, you know, woe is me, how dare you take away my purpose and my dreams, how dare you, look at me now, look what you've done to me, I'm choking, I'm suffocating, you know, it's kind of like that, even though he's not saying anything, it's just all like that. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just take you to the funeral and I'll put you in the casket then, since you are now going to die. Like he's making a big to-do out of it, so I gotta be reactive here and see what comes next. I'm actually taking him in, putting him in the funeral casket. This is super weird. He's dissolving, he's turning into ash, basically. Man, I liked that guy until I gave him an idea of change, and then it was like, does not compute, and then this happened. We're still making progress because everything in the way that it wants to communicate is teaching me more about you. And so let me see what happens next here, okay? I'm moving on from everything I've seen so far. I'm going to pull this part of me that's breaking down the structure. I'm just going to pull it back into myself. And I'm actually going to go into a void space and I'm going to call out to the universe and I'm going to say, okay, spirit guides, angels, higher self, this is everything I've seen so far. What else we got here? Because I'm still determined to break this down, but I feel maybe there's more I need to know. So we've done point A, so this now is point B is next, right? So I'm ready for the directions on how to get to point B here in the process of breaking this down. All right, I'm actually gonna, again, I'm climbing up dark stairs. It's a very narrow, it's narrow as I climb these stairs, just like as narrow as my shoulders. Like it's a very narrow hallway, like going up these stairs. And I'm just gonna close my eyes and I'm just gonna trust in where the universe takes me. And then if the universe is gonna take me up these stairs, I'm just gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna go up the stairs and just let at the top of the stairs be whatever it's meant to be. And I'm not going to decide what it has to be. I'm just gonna let it be whatever it's meant to be. Okay. It's a white space. There's blue in it. Everything is kind of, looks like coral in a way. So part of this room is white, pearly white coral, and then another part is like blue, like kind of glossy blue coral, and they somehow fit together. But there's splotches of white and blue like throughout. It's a very strange room. And there's a man in here, and he looks like a fat Julius Caesar guy, like lying on his side, and he's like dead sexy, you know, like he's kind of like lying on his side, like he's a hunk of man, you know. And so I'm just walking in here. All right, I'm just slow down the vibes. Slowing down the vibes. I'm coming back to your essence and telling you that everything about you is beautiful. And all of this stuff that we've seen so far are the most beautiful qualities of you. It's what makes you unique. It's the way you felt that you needed to work through this life, and it's beautiful. And I'm pulling your essence into myself. And we're going to walk into this room. And we're going to say hello to this man. And we're going to find our way to point B, okay? But I will say you have a lot of fear about, I mean, you have created something astronomical here. And it is always going to hold you back. And this would be a really hard one to conquer by yourself. I'll just say that. Because this isn't an easy one for me to break down. This whole thing is going to be me breaking this thing down. Okay. Okay, so we're just still slowing down the vibes because it's just not time yet to talk to this man for some reason. And you're within me. We're going to go here talk to this man. I'm still waiting for the time to feel right. The colors are including pink now. So blue and pink and white. They're starting to glow. It's sort of, I don't know, is it painted like coral or is it like a mirage? Like it's an illusion that I'm walking into a room of coral? Like, but I can walk towards him as though it is just a room that is in the shape of a box, but there's elements to it that are making it hard for the eyes to know what it's looking at. I'm going to just reach my hand into this man's heart. And I ask him, what are you afraid of? He's just a puppet. There's something even further, okay? So I'm just going to walk through him. I'm going to go through the wall here. And now I found another thread here. I'm reaching into the heart of whatever this is. It just looks like black everywhere. And then I'm going to say, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of that you would put this man in this room to try to distort and distract? What are you afraid of? Some emotion here. It's very tall and very tall and skinny, like a board. Like a block of wood. Just continue to hold the heart of whatever this is. I'm going to walk into it now. Just become it for a minute. And you're within me, I'm within this thing, and we're going to know some more stuff. Kind of entering back into a similar feeling as that one kind of dumpling man on the stairs. This board, there's sort of a couch that manifests here, and we all sit down. And there's a stream of energy that's actually quite extraordinary for me to feel it. That's just sort of breathing out of the heart. What is a feeling, okay? Feeling of the depths of your soul and how it has nothing to do with this simple human world. With all of its illusionary needs and obsessions, it annoys you, annoys this aspect of you. In a weird way, it's not necessarily beneath you, but it's just, it annoys you, the simplicities and the obsession over things that don't matter, and the inability to truly know yourself and to bring that awareness into the world, and how difficult it is to do that or accomplish that. I mean, this is really raw. This is a really direct vibrational expression. Cannot be any other way. It is saying it just like this. And I tell it, well, you need to get over yourself. You need to actually just let it be as it is. You know, you haven't outsmarted this thing, so don't go thinking that, you know, you need to just embrace the human experience. Just let it be as it is. Why does it have to be as deep as you are for you to be able to prove something more about yourself? Why can't you just, you know, you just have these simple experiences? Go to the carnival, have some cotton candy, And then, you know, maybe spill some hot chocolate on your white shirt later, and it's annoying. And now you have to buy a brand new white shirt because you can't get the chocolate out. You know, that's what it is to be human. It just simply is just like this. But this side is just like, but the depths of what I have seen and what I have done and where I have gone and who I am cannot be expressed in the cotton candy and the chocolate stain on the white t-shirt. It just doesn't, it doesn't fit together. It's like this circle block does not fit in the triangle, you know? It just doesn't. And this creates an agony for your soul, okay? And almost a resentment. So we need to let that resentment go. That's what explains why you don't feel like you belong here, because your soul resents being here. You need to get over it. I mean, and it's not easy to get over it, okay? I get that. But just like, you know, it is what it is, you know? But let me like really stay in the zone here with the vibes. So let me see what this part of you, okay. I say, okay, well, why don't you share with us today some of the very special things that you've done and seen. So that way the conscious you, the you that is human right now in this moment, can know this stuff. Let's see. Okay, there's a lot of movement here. A lot of like expression out of the heart, some like it's just like even anger, but joy and exhilaration coming out of the heart, and desperation to be expanded, and I feel like I'm stuffed inside of a flippin' straw and I can't breathe and I'm forced to live like this. So it's like angry and exhilarated though too. There is an exhilaration in this. All right, then it all gets stuck in the throat again. It all gets stuck in the throat again. So, okay. We're going to get to the other side of this, just so you know. We will get there. I'm slowing things down because when you slow things down, it helps it all to rebalance and be able to absorb literally everything I've seen and everything I felt. Billions of ideas that I can't express all of it in language. There's just so many threads of meaning. I'm slowing it down so I can allow you to download everything I've experienced and seen and all my ideas about it. And this is all on the soul level, okay? And I tell you that you're okay. This part of you echoes back the funeral and the feeling of death, and that death has multiple meaning here. It's not just, you know, the body dies, I move on from the life. Sometimes it feels like we are dead even though we are alive. And that is an agony also for your soul, to have to process and bear this nightmare about being human here, right now. Again, reiterates why you don't feel like you belong here, because there's so much resentment deep down inside. And we don't need, you're not going to be able to grow with resentment. Nobody can grow with resentment. It's going to stunt your growth. You cannot resent. It's just like war does not solve war. Killing people is not going to help the world heal. It seems like a good idea, get rid of all the bad people, but then that makes you a bad person. Like, it just doesn't work, you know? Resentment will never help you grow on the level that you can grow, all right? So we're just still going to do this. All right, somebody new is showing up here, and I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. Has sort of like a, kind of makes me think of like a astronaut, because this is round glass, and then it's black everywhere. It's weird black sort of astronaut like outfit. Everything is in the dark, this wooden part of you, just sort of like the frequency of life force energy associated is now gone. It's just like the guy that just started to blow up and then I put him to rest and he turned to ash. It's all gone, okay? So it's had its time to express itself, and now we're continuing to go to the next layer, all right? Now, who are you? He's like, I'm tall. Wow, like you're really up there. I mean, how are we supposed to have a conversation when you're like way up there? Like he's like as long as like the universe is tall, you know, he's like super tall. I can see his feet, but then he goes up a long ways. He's doing this on purpose. I'm not gonna go with it. I'm just gonna look into his face and I just say, I see you. He's not nice. I mean, he says, you don't see anything. And he sort of spits at me, but it all kind of collects on the inside of this like astronaut mask, Miss Helmet. I see that you're angry. He wants a reason to be angry. He wants me to give him a reason to hurt me. And he didn't know that I was going to say that. I see that he's angry. He's just sort of stopped right now, vibrationally. I take his helmet off. And I tell him, you can breathe the air here just fine. You don't need protection from the air itself. Oh, man. This is a pretty broken pathway that created this emanation. A lot of broken bones, a lot of feeling like you were lost along the way, a lot of nobody helping you or supporting you, a lot of people ridiculing you and putting you down for many, many lifetimes. I mean, this is a timeline. When I look at him, it is the reflection of a timeline of many difficult experiences, many hardships. And that is also the reflection of the resentment as well. That has to be reconciled. He just tells me that none of this will ever heal. None of this will ever heal. I carry these wounds. I am the part of you that carries these wounds. I am the broken one. That nobody helps me. Nobody cares about me. Nobody loves me. I'll never be loved. Never. I'll always be the broken one. I'll always be thrown away. I'll always be the challenged garbage, and people kick when I'm down. That's how this part of you is expressing itself. It's a male with very few teeth and just kind of naturally spits like kind of Donald, like what was it, Donald Duck? Does he yeah, kind of spits when he talks kind of thing. I'm gonna just be him for a little bit and tell him that I didn't come here to kick you when you were down. I came here to get to know who you are and to reconcile this stuff. And I'm glad that we can talk eye to eye now. And you don't have to be super big. You can just be yourself. You can just be your normal size. He wants to remember what it's like to be a newborn baby in the arms of a mother. Because that is when life is golden and pristine, when it is healthy, when it is healed, when it is not toxic or poisoned or broken, when it hasn't fallen from the top of the tree and now still has to find a way to get up and continue to walk. Okay. I'm trying to create a safe space where he can merge with the essence of a newborn baby in the arms of the mother. He's just so full of the hurt and the anger and the resentment that's very hard for him to let go of it. And he has to let go of it if he wants to be a newborn baby. A newborn baby does not get to take all this stuff into the moment of ecstasy, of being in mother's arms. Newborn baby doesn't carry this. He's crying because he can't. He says that it is me. All of the suffering is me. And I can't let it go because it is me. It is like me cutting off my own arms and legs. It is me. I can't let it go. I'm just changing the energy right now. I'm just removing from his arms the idea that they are a reflection of suffering. They're moving from his fingers, his fingernails, his thumbs, his skin, his elbow, his bones, his muscles, his eyeballs, his nose, everything about him. I'm removing the idea that these are all the suffering sewn into your very body. I'm removing that because that is not true anymore. That's an old manipulative program right there. And we're not working with that program. And that program will create resentment. And we don't work with resentment because that's also the old program. So you don't have to resent anything. We can actually embrace life. And we can support a beautiful new world. Like, it's today, you know, is a great day to start doing that. I'm still removing this. As I remove it, there's just stuff coming up right now from the stomach. And it's just coming up. It's trying to push its head through the heart, actually. It's a good thing. But it's like junk that got jammed in the stomach that just wants to get out. And it tells me the only way out is through the heart, which is unusual. Usually it's got to go through the throat to come out, but let's just see what happens here. It's just jammed in the heart. It's like trying to come out of the heart and it just gets stuck. Just put my hand in the heart. And I relax the stomach as well. And I tell the stomach it needs to let go of the idea that a blockage even existed. That way it just goes away. The stomach says that it did some wrong things to the throat. I say, is that why you're bypassing the throat on this one? You don't want the throat to know about what you've been doing or something like that? I'm gonna take stomach and I'm gonna put stomach in throat region so they can look at each other eye to eye. This isn't going to be easy to reconcile because I'm going to bring heart in here as well. And I'm going to merge stomach with throat. Just want to see what happens. Throat's finally getting acknowledgement. And it tells stomach that whatever you needed to tell me, you just needed to say, so that there's acknowledgement. That's what I do. I'm the one that is the communicator. So you need to be working with me in order to speak. You can't speak from your stomach. You got to speak from your throat. The stomach is processing the emotions along with the heart, and this is what you express through communication, but it needs to come from the throat though too. And the throat is talking to stomach and even to heart too. And it says, look at what stomach did to you, heart. Shoved some junk and tried to spit it out, and it got jammed. So now you're jammed, stomach is jammed, and all you needed to do was come talk to me. That's all you needed to do. They're starting to kind of balance better now. Mental body needs to get in on this too, because mental body is a bit like perplexed right now. So I'm bringing mental body into this place. Throat and stomach are one. Heart's just kind of hanging out here. Heart immediately goes to mind and gives mind a big hug. And gives mind a kiss on the lips. And holds the hand of the mind. And these two walk towards throat, which looks like a yellow banana. And then stomach is inside of throat. And heart peels the banana so it can expose what is deep down inside. And what is beneath the banana peel is who you truly are. The peel is not who you are. What is beneath you is truly the substance of you. And throat and stomach are both a bit embarrassed to be so naked before heart and mind to be judged. But heart says, I'll never judge you. All I want is to help you to see who you truly are and what makes you special. And heart stands in front of mind. Heart looks like a big red strawberry. And encourages throat/stomach to move towards her. She starts to glow with red light. Mental body is very quiet. And she just reaches arms out for mental body, throat, and stomach to come into her essence. That way they can all hang out together. Let's just bring sexual body into this too, might as well. Sexual body has an element of, it's kind of like, you can't put bricks together without cement. And sexual body could be the cement that holds the bricks together. Sexual body is a very important element that creates the beauty of an idea. It's just like, you could call it passion. I mean, sexual body can also be passion too. Heart can be passion. But there's something important about this. And sexual body is starting to kind of glow. And just sort of walks into heart. And I take all this information and I place it into the heart of this broken astronaut. He's turned to dust and the orb still remains with all this information. Everything I've seen just basically crumbles. The huge, massive structure, all this stuff is just entirely turning to ash. So I still have all this information. So I'm just going to actually go to you and I'm just going to place this into your heart. Then I place this into your mind and place this into your throat. Place it into your stomach. And place it into your sexual body. Now place it beneath your feet and above your head. And then I'll just expand this energy so that it's surrounding you in all sacred directions. That is within and around, in front, behind, above, and below. Because this is who you truly are. And this is balance. Everything is super bright right now. And you're reconciling a lot right now to just processing the meaning of all these vibrational shifts. I mean, I just tore down a huge structure that seemed like it was the right way to be, but that thing needed to go. That was not easy because there's just I have to go through so many doorways in order to get to what this is really all about. A part of you is telling me, Abbey, I don't know that you've done all this work for me, but I don't know if I can maintain this change, is what you say. And I say, why don't you believe in yourself? Why don't you believe that change is real for you? Why don't you believe that love is come for you to help you let go of some things your soul does not need to carry anymore? Why do you think that that's not actually happening for you right now? Do you not believe that this is actually taken place, this event? Do you not feel you've participated in it? So then you're just not fully exposed to what happened. You're just sort of watching it on a TV screen. You kind of cry because you don't know what it is to truly believe in something. That something this pure could have actually happened for you. Right? Because there's still an essence of you holding onto the broken astronaut when the broken astronaut is complete. So why haven't you let the broken astronaut go to rest? You tell me you don't know how to do that exactly. And I so, okay. I'm just kind of scanning you right now. You're so bright. Your energy is flowing so incredibly. But there's something in your ego that just isn't going to, is just sort of like all this is happening. All of this is happening. So why are you saying it's not? Like there's just a tiny particle in your ego that it just wants to be the broken astronaut. Now let's see what I can do here. Is it okay to define yourself as not broken anymore? Are you not sure what life could be like if you are not a broken astronaut? You've not known what it could be like to be actually put together, healed, bright, and purified? Could that be what this is? It does have something to do with that. It's the whole idea that change, for instance, is death and life, okay? So a lot of people resist change because they have to go through a dying process to become new again, okay? So change creates new experiences. Some people can totally go with the flow of change because they wouldn't have life any other way than always like shifting. but other people just want things to be predictable. And when something happens and it's not like the way they wanted it to be, it's like death, you know? It's like the greatest burden. How could the universe do this to me? Well, it's because you needed to be reborn, and you need to step into a new self-expression, and that's actually beautiful. And so this too is kind of what this conversation is about, because you've held this identity for a very long time. So if this identity isn't you anymore, then who are you? That's actually a beautiful thing. Or is that not, you know? So I'm emanating how wonderful it actually is to be new. To say, well, I've been a broken astronaut, but that's not who I am today. I've been many things, but now I am something I've never even experienced before. And I'm just gonna play this thing out. Let's just see where this thing goes, right? Yeah, that's already, that is exact. You needed this conversation, because there's a lot of safety net in knowing that you once were the broken astronaut, but that's not who you are now. It's almost like a part of you doesn't want to feel like everything you've been through is now never existed. That bothers you because it's part of your identity and who you are. So it will always be there, right? But it doesn't have to be who you are, you know? So we can just move on from that. You're okay with this. You're finally, that little piece of salt is just not there. You're actually okay. So you're kind of merging with all the energy work now. It feels really good. Yeah. Yeah, you're totally like submerged in it. You're not really sure what you're going to be like after this. That's the next thing you tell me. And I say, well, embrace not knowing. It's kind of exciting. Let's be real, you don't have resentment right now. Like, I'm feeling nothing in the way of resentment. So that's actually going to open a lot of doorways for you. Life could be a precious new experience full of totally new opportunities that you couldn't have ever fathomed, simply because you're okay moving on from being a broken astronaut full of resentment. Because guess what? You aren't that. Now you can embrace life in a new way. It's exciting. Yeah. Okay. All right, that's all I can share. You just never know what you're gonna get. Thank you for this super unique experience. I really enjoyed working with your soul today, and thank you for sharing on YouTube as well. And for those of you watching, if any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I'm also on Patreon at Abbey Normals Wisdom Quest. Thank you all, and I wish you all a wonderful day.